that one you told me and it was completely wrong? About the...
It was, oh yeah, right, it's years ago.
Oh yeah.
In olden days.
Oh sure.
When ghosts roamed the earth.
Once upon a time, you mean?
Yeah.
Some doctor or something who was into, like, the way bodies work. They got their head cut off.
Who did? The doctor?
Yeah, he was doing a bit of an experiment.
And he cut his own head off?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it was about, he said, when my head's in the basket, I'm gonna blink my eyes.
Right.
Okay, sorry, hang on, let him finish.
And,
so the doctor has chopped his own head off, and he's told everyone, I'm gonna blink my eyes to prove that
he's in the basket, and he goes like, right, I'm gonna blink my eyes about, you know, as many times as I can. So quick, count them. And they count, and he got to like 15 before he
Right.
died.
Now this is how Carl told me that. Till Nick Frost explained that, Carl told me, like, he said, right, well a bloke, right, he had his head cut off, and when his head was in the basket, he went, count how many times I can blink. And I went, well that's rubbish. He went, no, and Nick went, well no, he actually said, when my head's in the basket. He went, and Carl went, all right. I said, Carl, do you know the subtle difference? Do you see the subtle difference?
I have to say though, guys, I still don't really understand what went on there. You've both lost me.
The story is that a bloke who'd been found doing,
You mean that Carl just explained it and that was a clear version? Because I still don't know what you're talking about, Carl.
Well, this bloke had his head cut off at, experiments against God. He was a doctor in the, you know, in olden times.
Yeah.
And when they cut his head off...
Why did they cut his head off?
Because it was,
he was executed.
Crimes against... Exactly, he was executed, yeah. And, he said to his assistant, when my head's in the basket, I'm gonna blink, count how many times I blink and write it down as an experiment, right? Carl told it to me, like, his head was cut off and he went in the basket, and when his head was in the basket, he looked up and said, count how many times I blink. Yeah. I love that. I love the difference in that story.
Yeah, yeah.
Both rubbish,
yeah.
but, you know, one's possible and one isn't.
You believe anything that you're told, except when we tell you the truth.
Right,
Yeah.
here's one.
Christ.
Ghosts and that we got talking about.
Sure.
And Nick said, right, he said, you'll like this one. He said, my auntie, was having loads of problems.
Why are you whispering? It's not illegal to talk about ghosts on the radio.
No, but
It's hearing this.
so, the auntie's in the house and that, and, furniture's moving about all the time.
Oh, God.
And they were like, no, this is...
Steve, he told me this one. This is such rubbish, mate.
No, come on, let's listen.
I'm gonna leave it to you. I'm gonna sit back and enjoy it. I'm just gonna watch your face, Steve.
Right.
Sorry, so I missed the beginning there, Carl. There's an auntie in the house.
Basically, Nick's auntie,
Right.
in the house, things moving around all the time, and it was just annoying every time she tidied up. It was like...
It's just annoying.
Making a mess.
It was one part annoying to two parts scary.
Yeah, yeah.
So... so stuff was moving around all the time, and they said, right, rather than...
Right, we need an housekeeper.
Yeah.
Rather than having the house a mess, until we sort this
Stop
out...
it!
I've got the vicar coming round! Stop moving stuff around!
Oh, yeah, go on.
They said,
That shouldn't be in the pants drawer.
let's put all the furniture in one room, right? So, just have one room that's a mess, and have all the others empty.
Because I love the poltergeist can't really, it can move wardrobes around, but it can't open the door to put it in another room.
Yeah.
Poltergeist going, oh, I'm just making this room messy. I wish someone would open the door so I could... Go on.
Yeah, but... So all this stuff's in this room.
So they
right?
moved all their furniture into
Everything,
one
they
room?
put, like, the drawers in there and everything, and it was really uncomfortable, because they were all, like, on top of each other.
They sat in the room with all the stuff?
Yeah, they had to, because that's where the three-piece suite was.
Okay.
Oh, God.
Right?
Alright.
Oh, God.
So they sat there, like, all crumpled up and that, but nothing can move because it's so tight. Things,
Yeah.
I think things were trying to move,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
everything
yeah.
was so tight, it's
They
just like...
foxed that poltergeist.
So anyway, one night they sat there, like, sort of, a bit awkward watching the telly and that, and, they hear some banging
Yeah.
in the next room. So, she goes, oh, God, what's that?
Oh, he hadn't moved in, had he, the ghost?
So,
To some of the empty rooms.
so there's this
He's
bang...
moved some friends and family in.
There's this banging about going on,
No,
so
listen,
she
Steve.
gets up, right,
Yeah.
and what it is, they had the baby in the next room because there wasn't much room for the cot.
Right, so they left the baby with the ghost.
So, they go into the room where the baby is, and the banging
Yeah.
is like, do you know those plastic balls you get that you can chuck around the room and, like, they go mental?
Right.
The ones that you chuck once and
Yeah.
they keep bouncing
Yeah,
for
yeah,
ages.
yeah.
That was bouncing around the room.
Wow, what, the
hitting
baby had thrown it?
hitting all the walls, and the baby was there, stood in the cot, sort of laughing,
Right.
and looking at the ball, and wherever it looked, the ball went.
Yeah.
And then, she said, stop doing that.
Yeah.
And the ball just stopped.
Did it?
And rolled a bit and stopped.
Right. So the baby had thrown the ball and it was watching it as it bounced around the room.
It wasn't throwing it, it was in control of it.
No, the point is, Steve, the baby has been doing it. Would have been the baby all along.
The baby had been messing with the furniture. It was
So
a
it's
baby
a
that had the
super
power. Yeah, it's a baby that had the power.
Special baby.
It's a baby that had the power. It's
What
a baby that had the power.
What-
the power
what's the power?
of telekinesis.
Right.
They were then trying to convince me that telekinesis was not like all the other stuff that I didn't believe in, but that was a science.
Right.
Telekinesis was possible.
Yes.
Yeah, it's not like ghosts and demons and all that sort of. Telekinesis is different.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
a science.
But Nick's auntie saw it, and
I love the fact that you're telling me that someone else's auntie saw it. So I should be satisfied with that.
Yeah.
I should be satisfied with that. I mean,
no,
So does she still live in one room with all her possessions?
no, I think
the baby grew out of it, apparently.
it grew
The
up.
baby grew out of it.
So it doesn't use its telekinesis powers
No.
anymore?
Well, no, it's
No.
like in Carrie, innit? She was upset for a bit, and then she got over it.
Okay, I'm just gonna say one thing, Carl. That was a film. Do you want to play a record or?
My mum called me to ask me to look in some of the magazine shops in London for a magazine that she can't find. It's called UFO Data. I said, I ain't heard of it. She said she's seen an advert for it in one of her ghost magazines.
I love the fact that she can't even find the magazine about unidentified flying objects.
Yeah. So we get a clue
She
there.
thinks, I think I saw something, but I don't know whether it was a magazine or not.
So we get a clue there as to why you give any credence to this crap.
Yeah, well, it's you know, I mean,
Mama Pilkington's into the same shit.
there's a lot of space out there, isn't there?
She said that this magazine has got news story about how Aldrin (brackets astronaut) has got some evidence that aliens exist.
Yeah.
I told her that I found out today that the days are about 36 minutes longer on Mars. We chatted about how this is how they are more advanced than us. Do you mean the Martians?
Yeah, if they've got a longer day, that's more time that they're awake working on stuff.
Right, yeah, we know that makes no difference at all.
No, it does.
Think about it. Think
Yeah.
about it.
Look, think about it. 6 o'clock here.
Yeah.
People are going, see you tomorrow. I'm going home. They'll be going, oh, another half hour. They've got a longer day. Productive.
And that's why they're able to fly.
That's why they're whizzing around. It adds up, doesn't it, over the years?
Christ almighty, what drivel!
Suzanne got in from work at 11:30. I told her about the UFOs in Mars. She said she's too tired to chat. I said, does it mean aliens will be more tired than us, or do they get more sleep? I got no answer. I love it when
It
Suzanne
scares
goes in.
her.
She never indulges
No,
you,
it
does she?
scares her. Anything with ghosts and UFOs, she sort of...
It doesn't
ignores
scare her,
does
it bores
scare
her.
No, it freaks her out. Scares her.
Okay.
Now, Steve.
Yes.
Carl text messaged me in the week, very excited, because he just watched a programme that proved me and you were stupid. Remember we sort of championed the anti-supernatural?
Yes. Skeptical view.
We're just absolutely skeptical about things like that. We're atheists. We don't believe in ghosts, anything like that. Anything supernatural. We're followers of James Randi, a genius of our times. But Carl saw something that proved us wrong. I'd like Carl to tell you what this proof was, what he saw it on, and look at him. Go on then.
It was on Wednesday night.
Yeah.
I was watching... you see, the problem is I didn't get the full story, so you could pick holes out of it.
Sure.
But I was
Unlike your usual investigations into the supernatural.
Which are
It was
thorough.
called. Can I just say what the programme was called?
Mr. Exorcist.
Oh, brilliant.
So
Sounds like an academic work to me.
the bit that I caught, I just flicked it over, sort of seeing what's on the telly, and I thought, oh, Exorcist, I've seen it, but there's nothing else, and I watch it, and then I realised it wasn't the same thing.
Yeah.
I thought, oh, I'll have a bit of this. And there was an old woman and a daughter, and as far as I was aware, the bit I picked up on, they were saying, oh, you know, it's dreadful, and unless you've been through it, you know, you've had ghosts in your house and that, you really don't know what it's like.
Yeah, sure.
And the main thing that seemed to be getting them down was the fact that the budgie was getting stressed.
The budgie was getting stressed.
Because animals can sense the other side,
Oh,
can't
okay.
they?
Can they?
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
And how was that manifesting itself? You don't know. What was the budgie doing?
I think it just wasn't happy.
Right. Did it explain that to people, or
No,
how
do you
did
know,
it express that?
budgies are known for being chirpy, aren't they?
I see, and it
And
wasn't chirpy.
you know, it normally swings on its little perched and that. And
Just depressed because it was possessed.
It was just sat around in its pyjamas.
so
No. Come on,
So
Steve. Come on, Steve. You're making this a mockery. So the budgie was depressed because he could sense the ghost.
yeah, and then this guy, this Mr. Exorcist, came round.
Was that his name?
Yeah,
Okay.
Was he a priest or something?
yeah, he might have been.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I picked
Did he
up at the end.
have like a black coat with a little white collar? That's usually the.
He had his coat on, so you couldn't tell.
No, sure. Okay.
But so he came round and he sort of did his thing, and then
And was he trying? Was he trying to exorcise the budgie?
No,
the
the
ghost.
house.
Right.
The
So
house,
it
yeah,
wasn't
it
that the budgie had a demon or
clearing the
anything.
house
No.
out.
Okay.
No, this
So-
wasn't a possession, was it? This was a straightforward. It wasn't a poltergeist or anything. It was just a.
Well, a haunted house.
Yeah, but
Sure.
that's the thing he was saying. He was saying you can have like your ghouls and that aren't that bad, that aren't going to cause you any problems.
Yeah,
But obviously the budgie, they've got weak hearts and that, haven't they? and
Sure.
I
So
think-
so he go on. So
so anyway, basically he sorted it out, did whatever he did, and the next shot you see is like the budgie making a noise and swinging
It's
the
happy
eyes
again.
over the moon again, and the old woman was like happy because she was
she couldn't
getting
leave it up.
stressed.
Yeah.
And that's
The priest didn't come in and go, well, you should feed that bird. Give it a bit of millet. It was happy. He goes, right.
No,
See you
it's-
later. No. It was a toast.
I mean, budgies are. My mum's got a budgie, and they're fairly happy all the time, aren't they? So it's got to be something fairly odd.
You never see a budgie sitting down going, I feel like topping myself, to be honest.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Though?
No.
Do you know you can have like a moody dog? You can see a dog when it's unhappy if it's walking down the street.
You can have a moody canary, can't you? And what they do is they often tell the police what you've been doing. They're known for that. Yeah.
So
basically,
so that for you is proof that the supernatural exists. A bird in a cage got a little bit annoyed, wasn't chirping as much as it normally did. Who knows why? There could have been a little draft up its, and
Cloaca.
exactly.
That's
Anyway,
a medical term.
Anyway, a man came in and did whatever he did.
Yeah.
And used your friend.
Mr. Exorcist, though, Steve.
Yeah.
This wasn't any bloke off the street. This was Mr. Exorcist.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
And for you, that's the proof that there's.
just because, like, if it was a person, you go, they're playing up for the camera.
Yeah, a budgie could possibly act like that, Steve.
Yeah, I see what you mean. You're saying a budgie would not be trying to. It wouldn't be trying to become famous. Or
No,
be trying to get
not
on the
like
telly.
not like Lassie.
No, sure.
It was
sure.
basically a show off.
Yeah, or Champion the Wonder Horse.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I think
I've changed my tune, Rick. I don't know about you.
I have, and I think we should play a record. Again, I broke the rules in the week. I met up with Carl. I had lunch with him, and we were chatting and having a cup of tea, and it got onto one of Carl's favourite programmes was the Tales of the Unexpected.
Ah, of course.
And all I can think is that he's probably the only person in Britain where they were unexpected. I mean, to him, when that twist came in, he'd go, gee, I can't...
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Can't believe
So
it.
it was the tree that did it. I mean, he was probably the only... And we were telling all these stories of horror, and he liked horror stories. And I told him this story, and I don't know if this had come across the radio, but I told him this story. It was a short. It was a horror short.
This was a film you saw, was it?
Yeah. And, what it was, it started off, just there'd been a car crash, you see, it's a horrendous wreck, and you saw it from the point of view of the person in the car, and he was calling for his mate, and he was going, Dave. And he sort of looked over and saw a body without a head that had been thrown at. He goes, oh no, Dave. And then into the field of view came Dave, his mate, and looked at him with a look of horror, and then it sort of went black, and you realised that he was just a head, and it had been his body.
Oh, wow.
Right?
Yeah.
And I said, then it came up at the end, at the executions in the French Revolution, people experience consciousness for, and he went, oh, no, he said, it wouldn't be for that long. And then he went, if it was a chicken, it would work. Imagine remaking that film, but it's two chickens in horrendous car crash.
Their own fault for driving.
It would work. No, he wasn't having that.
Yeah.
No, it was too long. I think he said, how long was this film? Went, 5 minutes. He went, no. It would work if it was a chicken.
I like the way that Carl in something like when you relate an incident like that, he's appalled and offended and annoyed by the people that made it, even though he's never seen it.
Oh, he's annoyed. Yeah. Like
I want to see it. I think it's a good idea,
Yeah.
but they should have thought it through a bit more.
Yeah. Do you have a favourite Tales of the Unexpected, one that you remember particularly that shook you up?
Yeah, we were talking about the one on where there's some woman in prison. Have you seen that one?
No, I can't remember them all.
Right. This woman's in prison.
Yeah.
And she gets a bit friendly with the guy who takes the dead bodies out.
Right.
And he said, I can get you out of here. He said, what you've got to do, right? You've got to, I don't know, at midnight.
When you hear the bell toll,
Yeah,
that means there's been a dead body.
Yeah, there's been a dead body. So what you got to do is go into like the place where all the dead bodies are. Get in the first coffin on the right, and then I'll come along and carry you out, and you can run away and escape.
Yeah.
Right. So she goes, yeah, all right then. So she hears the bell go.
I'll bury you, right? And then I'll come back later and dig you up.
Right.
Yeah, but
That's the point.
It doesn't matter.
It does matter. Trust me, Carl. It
Alright,
really
then,
matters.
okay.
Listen, I don't know if I'm going to ruin this for people at home.
Yeah.
Can I just skip to the end? I would imagine that she gets buried and he doesn't come back, and she has to get buried alive.
Better than that.
Okay.
Yeah, she does it. She gets into the coffin.
Yeah, shh.
Go on.
Right. So she gets in the coffin, and she's lying there for ages.
She's
and She
buried.
can feel a bit of movement going on, so she's obviously, you know, being carried somewhere. So she's thinking, this is it, I'm getting out. And she's lying there for ages and thinking, why ain't someone coming and lifting the lid off this? Do you know what I mean? Letting me get out. So she's really bored. She gets a lighter out, right? Lights it to have a look at who she's lying on. It's only the fella who said he'd help escape.
Oh.
How bad is that?
That is... How bad is that?
So it is quite important that she's buried alive then, isn't it? In retrospect, you realise that the jeopardy is that she's buried alive and can't get out.
Yeah.
Yeah. It makes it so much worse, doesn't it, than just like lying in the morgue and going, actually, I'm getting out of here.
Yeah.
This isn't gonna work.
Look at Carl's face. Having told that, he's so pleased. His face is lit up. He's beaming like a child.
Have you seen any?
Is that your favourite horror thing ever?
That's a good one. And
Let's see if anyone knows what the finger is. When that bloke was under the ground, wiggling his finger.
We're talking about one with some fella who's stuck in the ground or something.
This is a motif I noticed in your particular favourite ones.
Yeah.
Right.
People stuck in the ground. Go on.
Right. So
It's a fella, is it?
Yeah, a fella stuck. Now I seem to remember it just being his foot, to be honest, being stuck in a hole. And
No, he was under the ground and he got a little thing out of the pavement and he put his finger up and wiggled it to try and attract attention. Then you see a woman come along and her stiletto heel just knocks his finger off.
You see, I'm wondering whether it's the same one as I saw.
Yeah, it could be two like that, couldn't there? It's a
They were running out of ideas by the last series.
it's a big theme in Hollywood.
Or what was that one you told me about with the porn? That was a good one.
Oh, this was fantastic, right? Right. There was this,
Sorry, can I just check now? We're just remembering classic episodes of the Tales of
No,
the Unexpected
this is important. Well, I saw one, right? I saw one, on Tales of the Unexpected, right? And it was, these two gents, what they used to do, they look down the obituaries, and they'd blackmail, the wife or the son of a dead eminent person, like might be a priest or a doctor, like that, and they'd go and they'd say, he bought some, erotic, stuff from us, before he died, and he owes, 100 guineas and all this sort of stuff, and they'd pay up because it'd be so embarrassing, they just didn't want them, so they'd just pay him, right? And this one bloke said, who are these people? I'll meet with them. And he goes round there, and he goes round, and, they go, your father, he goes, my father could not have bought any erotic material from you. They did it, he goes, he couldn't have, he's blind. Right, and that was the twist. And Carl went, so it was magazines, not videos then.
Yeah. Now think about it, Steve. Is that so stupid?
Well, presumably it was set in olden times because people, professional pornographers don't tend to call it, you know, erotic material.
Yeah.
They tend to call it, you know, juicy jugs or whatever. But more than that, I don't understand how a video is going to be any use to a blind person either. I know that you can hear the sound, Carl. Look at him nodding like he's caught me out.
Yeah, what sound were you hear? Do 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 do. Your meter needs looking at? Yes. Cut. What's then? What's that? Then it's just noises, isn't it?
Occasional groans.
Yeah.
Right.
You could listen through the wall at your neighbours.
He does.
I mean, that's why I save a lot of money. But I thought you were going to point out, Carl, that they could have had a Braille porno. I hadn't thought of that.
Look, feel the lumps on that.
Exactly. Think about it, Carl.
Think about it.
You're excited now.
Yeah.
Your girlfriend's away, Carl.
Yeah, the cheese grate is only under the cupboard.
No, she's a good-looking lady.
Yeah.
There was a thing on about Dracula.
Right. What, Dracula?
And I found a flaw in it.
Go on.
Not the fact that he's the living dead and is drinks blood to stay alive and he doesn't reflect.
And he can turn into a
mirrors.
bat.
Well,
And you can go on.
the mirror thing, you can't look in mirrors, can he?
Well, he can look in mirrors, but he can't see himself in a mirror.
That still doesn't work.
Go
Okay,
on.
go on.
It doesn't work at all, Carl. It doesn't work
Come
anyway.
on.
Well,
Centre parting's always really neat.
His centre parting's always
how
really
does he do it if he can't look in the mirror?
Blood on the floor or something it was called. Rubbish.
I love the flaw in the Dracula film is that his centre parting's too neat. How did he do it without a mirror? Ah.
Was it a documentary about Dracula?
No,
Yeah,
there was
the real
it's
Dracula, the
called-
real Dracula. bit.
Yeah, the real Dracula, the
It's
true
just a
story.
film. It had blood on the floor or something. It's called.
Yeah.
It's rubbish. From 1970.
Yeah.
Right, but you
know-
say that and watch that.
You know there aren't
Yeah,
really
that's right.
vampires in that sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it still annoys you that his centre parting was too neat.
Well, if you're gonna do it, do you know what I mean?
I'd like to see him with a fringe sort of pushed forward and maybe a hood up, alright? Come to stop your blood and that, alright?
Yeah, just bits of tissue paper all over his face where he's cut himself shaving.
Oh, can't see it. Bloody mirrors annoying me now, innit? I'd love to see that. A little mank Drac. That'd be great, wouldn't it?
Well, that might be a film that we do in our movie.
Mancula.
Just getting onto that.
Mancula. Count Mancula. Alright? You got any rave? You got any rave music, huh? Got any Oasis or that? That'd be brilliant. He came from Manchester. Please welcome Mancula. Alright? That'd be great, wouldn't it? His hair's a mess. Well, I can't see him mirror, can I?
I had to go for an ultrasound, right?
Isn't that what you do if you're pregnant?
Yeah, but do you know I've had kidney stones?
Are you
and that?
expecting?
We talked about
Lucky
it
you.
in the other podcast and that we've done, right? I've had a kidney stone. I don't want to go on about it. But it hurt. It was painful and that.
Well, you are going on about it.
Yeah, and there was
no,
nothing.
but I'm just saying.
It's routine. Don't worry about
It's
it.
not routine.
well,
Why
it
did they have
is.
to keep
Loads
going
and loads
back
of
then?
people.
Why did they have to keep going back? You're questioning me.
You're
on
getting into a
ultrasound.
routine. Keep going back. It's better than work, isn't it? You don't have to
Promote the
sell the book. No. Holiday or hospital. Holiday or hospital. Holiday or hospital. I don't know. I'll just say that we've got a book out, right? The World of Karl Pilkington. It's out now. When he goes on holiday the first week, right? He's in and out of hospital. He's doing no good. He's got to go in again. He goes away with his family like twice a year. Goes away with Suzanne's family twice a year. He's now said he doesn't want to do any press for it because it's boring, or he doesn't want. Why don't you plug in the book? Well, I mean, if you're an author, you've got to get behind
I've
it.
bought books without hearing someone telling me to buy stuff.
No, you're
You just buy stuff.
lazy. You're
No,
lazy.
I'm not lazy. It's just that I'm sick and tired of putting telly on or the radio and having people telling me, oh, you've got to buy this, you've got to buy that. No, I don't have to do anything. I'll have a look myself when I'm in a bookshop. Let them just find it.
But there are hundreds and thousands of books, Carl. They may not find it.
Well,
You're
just have
trying
a
to
look.
direct them towards it.
I don't want to direct them to it. I just, if you come across it,
But
most
why
of
have
the
you
books,
put all this work into this book, all these illustrations you've done and
because
extra
I
material?
enjoyed it for me.
Right, but you don't want anyone to read it,
Yeah,
so
they
why
will
just put it
read
in a drawer?
They will read it. They'll find it. People will find it. It's in the shop, isn't it? I'm always finding little books on different things and what have you.
Yeah, you don't read them. You read the first couple of lines and you get it wrong.
So I went back, right, and they had the ultrasound thing where they're looking to see what else is in there. And when I was in the waiting room, there was a woman there. I reckon she was about 98. Now, why are they rooting around in her to see what's up with her? Just let her die. Do you know what I mean? If she's not in any
Jesus.
pain. No. All
Such
I'm just saying, how long does she want to be around? And the problem is, she went off, right? I was sat in the waiting room. She went off into the little cubicle to put her a gown on. And because she's old, she can't bend her arms and that. So she came out with it all open on the back. And it was horrible. It looked like a chicken that hasn't been looked after, right? It was all leathery skin and that, right? Now, the thing is, it's all very well keeping people alive, but the surroundings of the body isn't meant to be lasting that long, is it? Do you know what I mean? The actual skin of a body, it's all very well keeping the heart going, checking the kidneys and all that, but we're not meant to be around this length of time. Yet we're messing with it.
Yeah. Just do the gown up.
You never see insects or anything like that look old. You don't go, look at the state of that.
Because they live about 4 weeks!
Yeah, but maybe that's the way it's meant to be. In the same way, maybe we were only meant to live to be 40.
But why did you go in for your operation then? Why didn't you just think, well, this is it, I've
It's
had
on
my
offer.
time?
If they're looking after an old woman who's about 98, I'm having a go.
Well, of
you want to
course.
live, because you want to live on.
She might have been
fed up.
flirting with you.
No, she was.
Keeping it open, just so you can have a little look.
But I'm just saying, is that right? Is it right that
You
they're
were
going
checking
in
her out.
there rooting around and stuff? I didn't like it. I didn't like having it done. I don't like going to the hospital and stuff and the doctors and all that. And she was pushing the thing down, and she said, "Oh, you can have a look if you want." So
What down where?
On me kidneys, she was pushing like this little scanner thing.
Oh right.
She was going to have a look. I was going, "I don't want to have a look." She's going, "What's up with you?" I said, "I don't want to see me insides." It's
Did
not
they have
normal.
did they put a tube down the Indian knob?
Yeah, they did all that. We've talked about that in the other.
But you were
audio
unconscious,
books.
weren't you?
Yeah, but it doesn't matter, does it? If you know it's going on, it still bothers you. Just because you're asleep.
Well, not really, no.
What do you mean?
Well, why does it bother you if you're asleep?
Well, that's like saying, "Oh, I woke up and the house was robbed." Oh, it doesn't matter. You're asleep.
Well, no,
It's
but
still going to bother you, isn't it?
but you knew it was happening and you did it willingly. It's not pleasant to go in and be made to go unconscious. That's the unpleasant bit, isn't it? And pain.
Well,
and
no, it's more the idea of it, isn't it? That's why, doctors telling you everything they're doing. It's like, don't tell me. You know what you're doing. Just do it. I'm
Well,
not
yeah,
going to have a go at it. It's not like DIY people coming around and going, "Oh, what you should have done there is," and you can go, "I'll have a go at that next time on my own without calling you out." Forget kidney stones again. I'm not going to go, "Oh, I've had it done before. I know what to do. I'll stick it up there." Doesn't happen, does it? But I can't. What was I saying? So anyway, so she was pushing the scanner over me kidneys and stuff.
Yeah.
Now, it was weird with her because at no point did she make eye contact with me.
Well, I don't understand what that means. Well, she meant to wink and go, "Your kidneys are fucked."
No, but it's just weird that she probably spends her days looking inside people more than she does talking to people. I just thought it was odd that that's how she sees people. When she looks at people, she probably sees kidneys.
What, this doctor?
The woman doctor.
Well, doctor.
Yeah.
Right. So, what you're saying is, the strange thing is that she often spends more time looking in people, because she's a doctor, than chatting to them.
Yeah.
And is it weird that Jonathan Ross is the other way around? Because he's a chat show host. He spends more time talking to people than looking inside them.
No, but even when I was
Because he's
asking
got a different job.
when I was asking her questions, saying, does it look all right? What's it doing? Is it moving about? Asking her questions about my kidney. She could have quite easily just turned around and give me a bit of eye contact.
But she was say, "Shut up, I'm concentrating, I'm at work."
looking at the screen in order to answer your questions.
Yeah, she's at work, she's doing something.
No, but just...
If she was here now going, "Carl, what are you doing with that microphone?" You'd go, "Shut the fuck up, I'm doing a podcast."
Did she run this scanner over your head? And if so, did she find anything? We'd like to try and educate Carl, Rick, as we have done since we've known him, really, and he doesn't really seem to absorb any information.
No.
And I was asked recently, when I was going back to Bristol, if I would come and talk to a classroom of school children.
Alright.
Just talking about careers, and particularly my career. And I went down there. It was in Bristol. It was an inner city school, quite rough area.
You're a son of Bristol. You're
Exactly, they love me
You're a
down there.
celebrated son of Bristol. You're a Golden Globe winning person who's returned to the homeland.
It annoys me when I go down there that I'm not met as I get off the train like the Beatles used to be when they came back from America.
By a mayor and a brass band.
Hordes of people, ticker tape.
Forever this day will be called Steve Merchant Day.
Exactly. It frustrates me that I just sneak back into town. There's no fanfare.
Yeah.
But basically they asked me to come talk at this school, and I sort of batted them away and said I'm too busy. And so I foolishly left them the opportunity to ask me again, which they did, and I didn't have a decent excuse, so I went. And I was expecting to talk to maybe a room of sixth formers. They were 9. These kids, 9 and 10 years old. But I realised as I was walking into the school, I was suddenly really nervous. I was more nervous than anything I've ever done. Because I realised that I've not spoken to a child like that since I was a child myself. I've never interacted with them. So I didn't know at what level I would be able to pitch this talk. I didn't know what they understood, what ideas they understood. Obviously, in my mind, I was picturing Carl. And then I was ratcheting it up a few years. Sort of IQ-wise.
Yeah.
And I went in
So
there,
what did you talk to them about?
and I was supposed to talk about careers, and I realised very quickly that they didn't really understand conceptual
Did they
ideas.
know you were?
Not really. One or two of them vaguely knew. One of them went, "What's Rick Gervais like?" And I said,
You got a deep voice.
yeah. Actually, that was one of the teachers. And I'm supposed to be talking about careers, how to get into careers. And I start trying to explain the idea of being a writer, and I say that it's very important to be able to get inside other people's minds, figure out how they think, and how, and try to understand other people. But this, they didn't really seem to grasp. They started talking amongst each other. They were just losing interest. I lost them straight away. I was devastated.
Oh no.
So then, and this is the worst thing, right? I started lying to them. Because I realised that every time I told a slight lie, because I thought they'd be interested, they were. So
I
carried
know
on like-
Justin Timberlake.
You're not joking, right? They said, one of them said, I understand you used to be a DJ, and I went, yeah, it's great being a DJ because you get to meet pop stars like Robbie Williams and Beyonce. Never met either of them. Never met them. And they went, one of the kids went, what's Beyonce like? and I went, jokingly, I went, you wouldn't like her. And I said, no, I'm joking. She's lovely, she's sweet, she's good as gold. I was making it up. But they were loving this, and the teacher was going, would you all like to meet Beyonce? And they were going, yeah. And I was thinking, God, well...
I'll bring her down tomorrow.
Well, exactly, but I don't know why I felt it was like I wanted to win the approval of these 9-year-olds.
That's amazing!
Because my own achievements, I realised, wouldn't mean anything to them. You know, I could talk about the people I have met, but they don't care if I've met Robert De Niro, but they're interested if I've met Girls Aloud. Or me and Girls Aloud, some of the times we've had together, it turns out. But it is fascinating when you have to interact with people, with children like that, because I've got no concept of how to talk to children. To me, I can't grasp the difference really in conversation and chat between, say, a 7-year-old and a 13-year-old. I don't know at what point they learn stuff and pick stuff up. Do they understand? Do you know what I mean? I find it really hard.
I remember once when I was about 9, the headmaster, deputy headmaster, used to do a little fable. I've talked about him in stand-up. He used to do a little fable. There's one I remember where he got a tube of toothpaste, and he got someone up. He said, "You, come out here. Squeeze this tube of toothpaste out on this board." And he squeezed it all out, right? And he squeezed it all out and emptied it. He went, "Now put it back in." And the kid tried to struggle, and he goes, "You can't do it." He said, "It's easier to do something than undo it." Okay, go back to class. Like people are going, "Oh, I get it. I know what he means."
Yeah.
They're just thinking, "Don't squeeze all the toothpaste out.
Yeah.
Just save some."
Yeah.
I mean, you know, there's no way they're going to take on
No,
that
exactly.
metaphor at the
It's
age
too
of 9.
conceptual, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, just stop misbehaving or I'll smack you. That worked. Carl, have you had to have any dealings with kids? How do you get on with kids? Do you relate to them? Or are they just as angry and perplexed by your views as we are?
I mean, it's with everything, isn't it? Everyone's different and that. I can get on with some young kids alright, and some of them are, like, you know, a bit cocky and what have you. But, I'm sort of getting on with the baby at the moment, because, I've been made a godfather.
Think of that.
So,
Wow, who did they reject?
I know.
no, I mean,
Who said no?
Yeah.
How
Well,
many people said no?
I did at first, and then
Brilliant.
Suzanne said, "Look, you know, it's not really a choice. It's not like a job interview or something that you're thinking about. Is it a good thing? So you've been asked. You should take it on."
But what are they? What if they? Hold on. If you're the godfather of this
Yeah.
kid, presumably you're friends with them, and they probably listen
Yeah,
to this
yeah, they're good
podcast.
friends.
So now they're hearing, for the first time, that you didn't want to be
Yeah,
godfather.
but I think that's good, because they can hear that, you know, it wasn't. I didn't just do it because I was asked. I thought about it. I thought it through. You know, I was worried. It was kind of like, is this a job? And I was just.
Well, it's
asking
nothing
her.
but tokenistic, is it? You're not.
Well,
really
this is what I looked into. I said, we went back, and I said, right, I've been thinking about this thing. I've heard that it's my job. If anything happens to them, I've got to kick in. I'd have to start looking after the baby. So I said, right, how many of you are in your family? If that happens, am I going to start getting a phone call or what? And they said, no, there's a big family. You're not, you know, you're at the bottom of the list. So I was like, how many? And just finding out what their age is. And you know, I've only got a small flat. It would have to sleep in the sink or something, right? So I checked all that out, and all safe. So this baby, it's spooking me out a bit because it doesn't blink, and that's pretty weird when you're sort of talking to it and you're thinking, it's not blinking.
Are you sure it's not asleep?
No, it's honestly, it's weird. If something doesn't blink, it's like it's evil. Because blinking just makes something look a bit more friendly, doesn't it? And I was stood there, you know, talking to it. I just tell it little stories about anything. It's lying there looking up at me.
How old is it?
It's must be about 2.5 months.
Well then, why are you telling it stories?
Because it likes it. But it's just weird how, like, then I'll sort of forget the story because I'm looking at it going, it's not blinked yet. It's been about 10 minutes, it's not blinking. So then I forget the end of the story and I just walk away because it's not bothered anyway. It's probably not listening, is it? But
What a pointless pointless tale. What a pointless tale now and at the time.
I think it likes it. The kids like stories, like you say. They're not bothered if it's not true or anything.
Or if you walk away before the ending because you've forgotten it.
That's
Brilliant.
why it's not blinking. It's so dumbstruck at the idiocy coming out of your gob.
No, but you don't need to hear endings of stories. Maybe, like I said
That's
to
the
you.
point. That's the point of a story, isn't
No,
it?
it's not.
That's the point why people. That's why people like stories, because they're hooked into knowing what happened.
No, because there's loads of films that happen and they have a funny ending. You leave there going, I wonder what's meant to happen. Then you make it up in your own head. You go, well, I bet what happened is that person went off and got married to that woman, and they lived happily.
And then in your head, it's the truth. It's actually what happened.
But I think that's better. Why are we told everything? Because
So what would your end be to a story such as The Elephant Man? Okay, he's rescued from the freak show, he's put in the hospital, he becomes something of a celebrity, then what happens?
He discovered he had big ears and he could fly, and he joined the circus and he was the main attraction.
I wouldn't change the end that much, because at the end of the day, you can't make something up that's not believable. At the end of the day, he's got an head like an elephant. He's not going to have a good life, is he? So there's no point making out that he went on, loads of women fancied him, and he modelled hats. It's not going to happen. So he's got to die. The Elephant Man had to die, but at the same time,
Was shot by poachers?
show
for his tusks?
show a few positives, because I'm sure there was good bits in his life. I don't know what they were, but look at everything.
What was he like when he was a little baby elephant?
They didn't cover what he was like as a kid, but you can get away with them sort of looks when you're a baby. You can be an ugly baby, and everyone goes, "Oh, isn't it nice?" There was some woman in a cafe the other week that I was sat in, and she came up and she sat down with a mate, and she was talking loudly, going on about, "Oh, the baby's lovely." They said it's got lovely big eyes, really big hands and feet. Now that doesn't sound like a nice baby to me. I felt like saying it sounds like a frog, but I thought, I don't know her. There's only so much you can say to a stranger. I don't know what kept me from saying it. That's what I was saying before about there's something.
It sounds like a frog.
There's something inside of you that stops you.
Yeah, that's amazing that you have the urge to go, that doesn't sound like a good baby. What, love? I'm just listening to conversation. That baby you're talking about sounds like a fucking frog.
Yeah, but something stopped him saying it.
I just came back from America, and they love Halloween.
They're
out there.
obsessed over there.
I mean, it's a proper thing out there. Here, it's sort of half-hearted. A few middle-class families, sort of.
But do you think it'll
dress
get
up.
more popular here though if we do find out that ghosts are about?
Well, that'll never happen because they're not.
No,
okay?
but if they did, then
But-
suddenly that would be a big.
Well,
it'd be a big day.
America makes things famous now, because of film culture and everything. So yeah, it's all from that. I doubt we celebrated much at all, did we, 50 years ago? So I think it's crept
Oh,
up.
certainly over here we didn't. But it's
No.
been largely introduced over here through commercial ideas, isn't it?
Yeah,
We can
yeah.
sell stuff for Halloween.
and film and things like that. And but out there they start like weeks and weeks before, and they're decorated like proper. And but I saw a little bakery in Soho, and it didn't look right with cobwebs all over it and spiders on the buns.
Yeah.
But even though it's fake, it's just I don't think you should do it on a bakery. Do you know what I
Yeah, I
mean?
know what you mean. It's a
just
bit
think
creepy.
that surely puts you off the product a little bit.
I always
don't know.
find it a bit depressing. Like last time I remember going into supermarkets and you see sort of these old women who in their 60s and they're doing this job they don't really want to be doing, but they've been made to dress up
As a hat, I know.
as a witch or as Cinderella, and it just
Well, they could do it in like a morgue or something, just to sort of.
Brighten up the place.
Well, just so people aren't that scared.
Imagine that. Imagine you're going to identify your dead relative, and they go, "What's the spiders all over?" It's 31st October.
No,
Oh,
but,
okay.
But just make it a bit spookier and have a bit of fun with it, and let's not get serious about, like I say, passing on.
Yeah, but those
you've
sort of
had
people
your
have to
bit.
take their job seriously. I remember when my mum died, and I had to go along, and I was talking about what wreath they wanted, and this person, quite rightly, had to turn off their sense of humour in a way, because I suppose they mustn't offend anyone, so I had to, they spoke like that at all times. At all times. Okay, and what would you like the wreath to say? She was a mother and a grandmother. I went, yeah, mother, grandmother, and what was her name? I said, her name was, Eva. I said, and I made a joke. I said, do we get a discount because her name's short? And she went, well, actually, didn't laugh, didn't get that at all, just went, just answer the question. She went, well, actually, you pay by the letter. I thought, okay, that fell flat, I'll go again. I went, well, a friend used to call her E.
Yeah.
I went, I'm joking. She went, okay. Nothing.
Yeah.
Bad audience. Bad time, bad audience. Tough crowd.
Yeah, Undertaker's never known for their...
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
their
They
laughter.
don't crack jokes, Carl. A friend of mine was trained to be a doctor, and in his first year, when they practice, they intern at the hospital, he was watching this patient, and two other doctors came in, and I won't say his name. They said, can you go and check on Mr. So-and-so? He went, yeah, and change his drip. So he went in, changed his drip, came back out. The doctors came, after about 10 minutes, they came running and said, what did you do? What did you do? And they went in there and said, I just changed the drip. He goes, well, he's dead. He's dead. He was going, I just changed the drip. I did this and that. And they started laughing. He goes, no, he was dead when we sent you in there.
Yeah. Now, that is almost excusable because it's imperative if you're a doctor
Absolutely.
to become accustomed to the fact that people die and that it's,
Exactly.
you know,
Yeah. So they were making a joke about a dead body that means nothing to them other than professionally.
Yeah.
You know, they were getting through it. He thought he'd just murdered someone.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, he thought he just killed someone. But yeah, they have to be desensitised. But they wouldn't do that in front of the relatives. They wouldn't go. I had a laugh earlier with a young intern. When your dad died, we sent him in to change the drip. Didn't even check. It was quite good. Anyway, let's get him out of here.
No, but they do have a laugh. I heard about a doctor who was working on a brain, right? And apparently when they work on the brain, it's best if they keep you awake. Because, you know, just so you can go, that hurts a bit, and they go, oh, we best not touch that bit again.
That's the reason. Rick.
Amazing.
That's the reason.
No, there is
amazing.
there's certain operations, isn't there, where they go, you know, we can knock you out for that, but for this one we want to know.
It's probably because the
awake.
brain needs to be
Activity.
active in order to
Yeah, they show
identify the thing.
activity,
But
yeah,
sure,
they-
yeah, no,
so
it's
anyway-
actually so you can wake up and go, yeah, no, that hurt. That stings. How that stings. Don't pop that in there.
You can't feel anything in the brain anyway. No nerve endings.
Really?
You
What?
can't feel it, can you?
Well, maybe there's another reason. But anyway, his head's open. He's sat on this chair. The doctor's going.
I reckon he was laying down.
I thought he was laying down, but in your world he's not. He's sat on a hard-backed
I think it's more
dining
like
chair.
in front of a mirror, like a hairdresser type thing, right? And he's cut the skin off.
So
Like-
get a bit shorter there.
so he's
Something for the weekend, sir?
he's-
Oh, I won't be shagging with no brain.
anyway, so he's cut the skin off, and you know, chopped a bit. And you're always going to get bits, aren't you? Sort of. Whenever you cut anything, you end up with a bit missing. But anyway, somehow he does the brain stuff. He fixes it. I don't know what he was doing, but he
Don't you?
he
You
fixed
don't know
it.
about. You don't know
You
about
don't know
that.
the intricacies of brain surgery? That I find perplexing.
So you're not a neurosurgeon. I don't want. Oh, okay.
So they
go on.
sorted out the problem, right? And he goes, right, all we've got to do now is stick the head bit back on.
Yeah.
That's what it's called, by the way. The head
Oh, this
bit.
happened. This happened.
Yeah, the head bit's connected to the face bit.
So he sticks.
Nurse, head bit. Doctor, do you need leg bit? Not yet, nurse. Head bit, then leg bit.
So they stuck the head bit back on, and then
Can you pass me the sharpie thing?
he was trying to sew it, and he was going, "This isn't fitting. This." He's going, "I don't know." And you know, like because the
Right, if this turns out that
It's
it's
someone else's head.
or
No, no.
a toupee from the doctor next to him,
Yeah.
or a cat. Wow!
No, it's-
You've sewn a cat to my brain.
it's none of that. He's trying to sew it, and he's thinking, "Why isn't it fitting?" And he's thinking, "Is it because the head's swollen?" Because you know he's been messing about in it, and things
Yeah.
swell, don't they? And messed about
Yeah.
with. So he's messing with it. He's going, I don't understand this, and he's panicking a bit because the patient's awake and chatting and stuff, and you know, it's difficult to have a normal chat when you're panicking a
I
little
know,
bit.
there's a queue as well. People want their brain done. And they're just reading old copies of magazines. They're going, hurry up.
So
I'm going out tonight. Do you want to wash it? No, just, I'll wash it later. Just take it off, do the brain, put it back on.
anyway, what happens is he has to start rummaging,
So start rummaging.
sort of rummaging.
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 No! There's no N before the first G. Rummaging.
Well, he starts looking through the. He starts having a look through the bin. Because,
what?
Because he knows he's chucked a bit away of the skin.
Right. Where is this surgery where a bloke's sitting up in front of a mirror and there's a bin? Is there a little basketball ring above the bin as well, so when he throws things it goes through there first?
I'm just saying that's what happened, and you were saying about things that happen, and you've got a joke about it.
So he's rummaging, and what happens?
He said to him, the fellow was starting to sense the nervousness, and he said, "What's going on here?" And he says, "Oh, I'm never going to believe it. I've lost a bit of your skin.
Lost a bit of your head, yeah.
I can't."
Why did he cut? I don't understand. Why is there? Why is it in
what I
two
mean.
bits?
Because things just break up, don't they? It's like chicken. When you see him walking around, everything's in place and it sticks together. You cook it, suddenly it all breaks up.
He'd cooked his face before he cut it out.
I'm just saying how flesh, it sticks together well
Yeah, but
when...
he'd cooked the scalp before he'd taken it off his head.
No, but it's just an example of how skin can break up with the muscles and everything.
So he's rummaging in the bin, and does he find the head?
He found the bit, and then he's like, "Oh, sorry about that," and he sort of managed to stick it on.
Right, he didn't wash it off or anything?
Yeah, I'm sure he gives it a bit of a rinse. But I'm just saying how...
Nonsense.
You know, you've got to make a joke out of stuff, haven't you?
Yeah, it's bollocks.
If you're a doctor.
Okay, that's good.
So where was the joke in that story? At what point I thought this was a story about how doctors have a sense of humour.
Yeah,
when
well,
did he make
at
a
the
joke?
end, he sort of laughed and he sort of said, "Oh, there you go, it's back on." But good job, the bin men didn't come or whatever, and they made a joke out of it.
I've never heard such nonsense. I've never
Carl
heard
just made
such.
that joke.